Hi, dear friends. How's it going? I hope everything is going smoothly and beautifully in your life. In today's video, we're going to talk about immigration, which is a very hot topic. And I'm sure that if you're working on your English, if you're trying to improve your IELTS score in writing or speaking, or even in other parts of the test, you definitely need to be totally ready and well prepared for this topic, which is a very common and popular one. So, without a further ado, let's get started. The topic of immigration. Some people move to another country in search of a better life. So you can use this sentence as the answer to why do you think people would love to immigrate. So you can say because people want to have a better life, or some people move to another country in search of a better life. So of course, this phrase is way better than the one that I introduced in the beginning. Many immigrants come from less developed countries. If you've watched the previous video, we were talking about developing countries and developed countries. So you must have some ideas about that. And this is a very good, let's say, reminder for us, especially for those of you who haven't watched the previous one, to get back and refresh your memories and get the ideas because those ones are very handy as well. Many immigrants come from less developed countries. Less developed countries means the developing countries, not developed countries. Developed countries are like Canada, America, some European countries, of course, most European countries, and Australia. These are the developed countries. But many other countries, mostly located in the Middle Eastern countries or Africa, can be called developed and less developed countries. Richer industrialized countries may offer opportunities for employment. Richer industrialized countries. So here, instead of saying developed countries, we are using another synonym or equivalent, which is richer or industrialized. Pay attention to the pronunciation of this word. We use U, but we don't say industry. It's industry, industrialized. If you practice, you just pay attention to its pronunciation, you will get the hang of that very soon. Industrialized countries may offer opportunities for employment. If you remember, I've been talking about the use of modals and the importance of using them in your writing and speaking because it shows precision, which is one of the most important factors and qualities of a person who can get a high band score in IELTS, writing or speaking. May offer, so it's not a fact, but we are saying that it is a possibility and opportunities, as you might call it, for employment. Of course, because they have more jobs, they can provide a better range of job opportunities. Free healthcare and schooling are available in some developed countries. Free healthcare, meaning that people are not required to pay any money. And schooling here it means free schooling, but because we use free for healthcare and we are using and, we don't repeat free for the second word, are available in some developed countries. So it's very important to say some because it's not for all. In some countries it is, but in some countries it is not. Other people migrate to a foreign country to improve their academic, let's see what the word holds for us. Oh, academic qualifications. Academic qualifications is another beautiful way of saying education, to study. Other people migrate. It means they just go to a new country, they move into new country in order to improve or pursue higher education or education. Here we say academic qualifications. Okay, so these are different kinds of reasons why people decide to emigrate and immigrate to a new country. But now we want to talk about the positives of doing so. Of course, it has a lot of positives or advantages. Therefore, it can be very compelling for many people around the world to make a decision for changing their lives and starting a new chapter in their lives. The first thing that we want to talk about is the importance of the economic purposes. From an economic perspective, immigration can be extremely positive. From an economic perspective is a very nice phrase that you can use in both writing and speaking. You can change it. You can say from a cultural perspective, from an educational perspective. So whatever perspective you have in mind, and that can be applied for your sentence, and what you have in mind could be could be a different use. Depends on what you have in mind. So here, my first focus is on economy. That's why I say from an economic perspective. Immigration can be extremely positive, extremely positive. So remember, previously I told you that one of the other important factors to be able to get a high band score in IELTS or any other sorts of examination is the fact that you can use different kinds of adverbs or adjectives in order to show the precision. So it is one of those kind of situations that you can remember to use adverbs properly and appropriately. Many immigrants have skills that are needed in the country they move to. And that's why, of course, those countries are welcoming immigrants because they need immigrants to build up and establish better quality for all the citizens and immigrants. Many immigrants have skills that are needed. Here we are using a passive voice that are needed. Immigrants who find work contribute to the economy of their new country. So those new immigrants who can find new jobs can contribute to the economy because they are earning money, they are helping the economy, and of course they are paying the tax, and they help the cycle of the economy in a very better way, which is a positive trend. Many immigrants send money home to help family members. Again, this is somehow related to the previous topic, and if you watched the previous video, you might remember this sentence as well because they have money, and mostly we have the exchange currency rate, which is a very usually different one. They can still send money back home so that they can support their family members as well. Immigration also creates cultural diversity or diversity. It means that you can see different people living almost in the same country, mostly at peace. Like the United States of America, Canada, Australia, these are very prime examples of having a high diversity in different factors like culture, like religion, and stuff like that. So immigration also creates cultural diversity. And the next one is people of many different nationalities learn to live together. Of course, people from India, China, or other parts of the world just come together and they can understand each other little by little. This can help people to become more open-minded and tolerant. Base what? The previous idea. So this technique is very important as well for your high band score. We call it referencing. This, it means whatever I said previously, can help people to become more open-minded. Open-minded, take a look at the hyphen here, and tolerant. It means that they cannot act so dogmatic or biased. It is not my way or the highway. It doesn't work in those countries because there's a huge diversity. But nothing in this world comes totally positive, and immigration is not an exception either. Negatives of immigration. It seems to be very short, so I think the writer of this pamphlet is somehow uh, for immigration. Some people believe that immigrants take jobs and should go to local people. That should go to local people. I think these days we are all aware of that kind of trend that I think started in the UK because the local people believe that immigration should be stopped as far as the jobs opportunities are somehow wasted because there is no priority for their own residents and citizens. And there were different kinds of instances of anger and violence in that regard. So you can definitely relate to it. Some immigrant workers work longer hours for less money. Yeah, so because they really need the job and they have a lot of obligations, so they are somehow open to work for less money. So that creates a kind of competition, which can be negative, of course. Companies might pay lower salaries to immigrant workers, and those companies would take advantage of these people. Therefore, they would prefer to hire immigrant workers because they pay less money, and that makes the situation worse. Unemployment rates should could rise if there are too many immigrants. So, of course, if those countries try to accept a lot of immigrants, that kind of balance will be out of picture. So we will have a high number of unemployed immigrants or people in general. So let's talk about opinions about immigration. What do you think of that? Before getting started to read the sentences, pause for a moment and think about the opinions. Do you think that it's a positive trend or do you hold something negative about immigration? Okay, friends, we will continue talking about this topic for the next session. Take care and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you.